Alrighty.
Welcome to the Unrelated RC Podcast. I am Eric.
I'm Riley.
And this is our first episode. So this episode is just kind of going to be our introductions and talking about our intro into the hobby and kind of everything that we do. So you guys can kind of stay on the same page as us, really.
Yeah, just kind of get on the same page of what we've done that's led up to this point and where we plan to go.
Yeah, should be good. So we're going to start off with our personal introductions. We're both ex-semi-professional dirt bike racers in the Works series, which is like a GP style series.
Yeah, like half desert, half moto. They're like 2-hour long races, and we both raced pro for about a year.
Yeah.
I raced pro for 2 years, and you did it for about a year.
Yeah, I got injured, and that was kind of the end of it for me, and I now race side-by-sides in the same series. So I race a Polaris Razor, and that's been super fun.
Yeah, and I'm not really racing moto anymore, just kind of doing more just fun stuff, riding for fun, and I don't know, playing with cars, and I don't know, like real cars and scale cars, and
yeah, for sure,
having a good time.
Riley does some rallies like Target Trophy and stuff like that, so big car rallies, and he has a Subaru STI.
Yep, Subaru STI. It's 2017 STI. It's stock motor. It's got a bunch of just like aesthetic mods, and it's a lot of fun. We have my dad and me. We just do a lot of like big car rallies, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's super cool for sure. And I used to be really big into diesel performance too, and I've kind of faded out of that, but
yeah,
Eric's truck's like a 550 horse Dodge, and just kind of mess around with that, but I don't know.
Yeah, kind of just start talking about where we like came from. I originally I came from quads. I have a pretty big quad background. We had back in like 07 through 09, like my dad, like my family, we were the factory Cowie team for the West Coast for ATVs. So we like did all the works races, a couple motocross events for quads, and that's how I kind of got started with racing. And then that just led into racing like mini quads, and then like I never raced like 450 quads, like big quads, but like when works used to be split, like ATVs and motorcycles, but like when that kind of joined together, that's when I kind of jumped ship and went to the moto side.
Yeah, and kind of my big startup when I was little was we always were a sand dune family, and I always rode quads and stuff at the dunes.
Same.
And back in those days, probably 03, 02, 03, 04, everyone had Traxxas T-Maxes at the dunes with some paddles, so that was like a big inspiration into my RC, which we'll kind of get into more in a little bit, but a lot of that kind of fed in. And then I started racing. I never really did anything when I was younger. I think I started racing dirt bikes when I was 10 or 11, and I raced motocross until I was 17, I want to say, and that's when I started racing off-road.
Yeah,
and started racing works. And
I started racing works when I started racing works when I was probably like probably 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was like 14 is when 2014 is when the moto side and the quad side of works kind of conjoined, and then that's when I jumped over, and like I got a super mini. Like I had an 85, and then when they conjoined that next year, I was like, okay, I'm done doing quads, and then I got a super mini, and that's when I raced super mini A in works.
Which, for those people that don't know, that's like a 85 with like big wheels and big bore usually.
Yeah. So
Kawasaki makes the KX100, and KTM used to make the 105, and that's kind of what that class is.
I think Kawasaki's the only one that makes the super mini now, right?
I think so.
So yeah, I raced super minis and works, and then after that year, then I tried to go moto, tried to qualify for Loretta Lynn's. If like you guys don't know what that is, it's just like the biggest amateur motocross event like in the world, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So tried to do that in 2015, and then wasn't really like successful with that, but I just had a lot of fun. And then 2016 is when me and Eric started hanging out a lot, and we decided to go try and tackle works.
Yeah, it was super fun for sure. And I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but I just had a knee injury, and that kind of ended the fun for me. And I've had a few buddies that have gotten pretty messed up since then, which has kind of put me in the cage.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Eric, we raced. Yeah, so the year 2016, we raced, works. You did about half the series.
Yeah, I think I got to round 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was super rad. We trained hard. We trained hard, like, coming up to it. And it was so much fun. Yeah,
it really was fun.
And, and, like, I guess we can start talking about, like, our introduction to RC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, RC cars have always just kind of, like, since we're just been moto kids.
Yeah,
like,
that's always around it.
Our RC cars and motorcycles just kind of go one and one. Like, when
Traxxas actually used to bring a semi to a lot of the big amateur nationals, and I know Riley knows they used to go to the works races too, which was really cool as a kid to.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that was definitely my, like, the first time I saw a Traxxas Slash was at a works race in Mesquite, Nevada, and, like, it was and I was mind blown.
Yeah, for sure. And the Slash was such a big move in the RC community, because it was really the first truck that actually looked like something that was actually somewhat scale. I mean, now they look pretty obsolete, but that was definitely the first short course truck. And I remember when I first found out about it, I saw the SC10 first by Team Associated, and that was super cool.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, when I saw that thing, I was like, I was mind blown. Like ever since then, I was like full RC cars. I was like on YouTube, just like looking, looking for every video, and like, I was pumped.
Yeah, for sure. And my first RC car was Traxxas Stampede. I don't know, I was probably 5 or 6 when I got that, and I remember just thrashing that thing around the neighborhood, running into curbs, breaking A-arms off, and that was back before, like, brushless was really a big thing. That was back when nitro cars were the fast cars, and I could never figure out how to tune a nitro car. And once I got one of those Team Associated SC10s, it all kind of changed for me, and that we had a track open up a few years later, and everything went to brushless, and I kind of raced at a club level. I raced short course, 2-wheel drive short course, and 10th scale buggy. I had a mod buggy B4 that I raced, and that all kind of went away, kind of fizzled out.
My first, like, recognition of an RC car is, like, I don't even know how old I was, and it was just, like, my dad had a Traxxas T-Max.
Oh, yeah.
With, like, the double shocks in the front and the double shocks in the rear, and, like, it was a nitro, and that thing was so loud, and it was just, like
2-speed.
Yeah, I remember my dad just ripping it up the street, and it was so loud, and it never ran.
Oh, no, never.
And then, like, he did, like, my mom's always, like, she had a Hummer. And, like, he did a Hummer body on that thing, and I was like, this thing is insane. Like, it was so sick.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I remember, like, one time it broke, and then he took it to the RC shop, and it came back, and I was like, I want to drive it. And, like, the steering was backwards, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I drive it, and just, like, boom, and just straight into the curb, and just exploded the entire front end.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, after that, then, like, we didn't really mess with RC cars for a while. And then one year for Christmas, I got, like, a low C. It was like a low C trophy truck. Not a trophy truck, but a monster truck.
Yeah.
And, like, and I just remember, like, one time I drove it into the pool. Like, that's all I really remember, like, on accident. I was, like, driving in the backyard and just, like, went in the pool, and, like, it just smelled like, you know, like that burnt electronic smell.
Oh, yeah.
Smelled like that so bad.
Yeah.
But, that was, like, my first RC car. And then, like, years and years later, that's when, like, the Slash came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I was super stoked on the Slash, and then I got that for Christmas, and I was like, this thing's insane.
Oh,
and, like, I remember, like, I would wait all day for the battery to get charged.
Those 7-cell nickel metal batteries.
Drive it for 10 minutes, and then be done.
Yeah. So, yeah, my first crawler, I mean, this podcast is going to be mostly, like, scale crawler-based, touching a little bit on other stuff, too, and we'd like to reach out more than that, but initially that's kind of more of what it's going to be around, because that's what we're most focused on. But my first crawler was an AX10 that I got off Craigslist for like $100, and I was just blown away with what I could do with it. It had like a CKRC chassis on it and like a RC 4-wheel drive transmission, and I remember I could drive that up anything I wanted, and I thought it was so cool.
That's sick.
Bunch of weight in the wheels, which is obviously terrible, but
yeah. What we were saying is like, yeah, we kind of want this to be like crawler based because we're really into the crawler community the most. But definitely want to like touch on all news in RC, like really the main topics of what's going on, and just try to put our input, and then also try to bring you guys facts and
talk about news, and also just what we have going on that week. We're gonna try and make it weekly, or hopefully we can get some interviews on too, and we'll try and do our regular weekly episode and then do those on a different day. Yeah, maybe do multiples.
I think we're planning like maybe every Sunday have a show come out.
Yeah.
And then if we have like a guest or something big happens in RC, or like if we feel we want to do another show in between the week, we will.
Yeah, for sure. If we feel like there's a big thing that has come out, or something that we're really itching to talk about, then we'll touch in that. But kind of going into more about the scale stuff, I'm more of like the performance-based guy, kind of like Harley. I don't really care too much about what it looks like. I like it to have an interior, and I like it to look real. Like, I love the look of the real tires and the licensed bodies and axles and everything. I think it's super rad, but I'm more focused on trying to get up stuff, at least right now. I'd like to lower my standards a little bit and hopefully get into a more scale rig soon, but as of right now, I'm definitely more of a performance-based guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely more the scale guy.
Yeah.
This is actually the first right here for you guys just listening. It's a Axial SCX10 Jeep JK. It's the 2012 one. Well, when they came out with it, it was silver. This one's red, because when I got this, like, it's kind of around the same time you got your first SCX10.
Yeah.
And you guys were all doing like front-mounted batteries and like anything to get up stuff, and like I remember I had a rear-mounted battery forever.
Yeah.
Cause like
you were super hard on that.
Yeah, cause like I wanted to run a light bar so bad, so I ran another battery in the front.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and like I've done so many, like for each car I've done at least like 3 bodies.
Yeah.
Like I'm a looks guy, and you've definitely always been the performance guy.
Yeah, and your cars obviously look insane. You have the Vanquish sliders, wheels, winch, light bar, everything. It's a super good looking car, but
yeah, I'm definitely the looks over function.
Yeah, for sure. And you're kind of reaching out a little bit. You just built a SCX10 too.
Yeah.
Which is definitely more performance based than your JK, but
yeah, just recently I built up this I got an SCX10 it started as a deadbolt, but now it's got a bunch of stuff done to it. It's got links, shocks, all Vanquish. The only thing it doesn't have is axles, basically.
Yeah, which in a performance build, it's not really that big of a deal.
And that's really what I was going for, is the performance build on that side. You can kind of talk about how you got into this SCX10 too, and then I'll dive into more of that.
So yeah, my years later after I got that AX10, I bought an SCX10 just because I had always wanted one. Always was on RC Crawler, always looking at builds, and I always just thought it was so cool. And then once I could finally provide myself with enough money to buy one and not feel bad about it, I bought one and built that up. And I built a Wraith too.
Yeah.
I had a brushless Wraith with a 10.5 Tekin setup in it, and it was a ripper for sure. And then I just kind of faded out. A lot of people, we had a big scene here for a while through Dixie 4-wheel drive, which is a 1-to-1 shop.
Local, it's super big shop.
Yeah, and they used to do a bunch of events and stuff, which was super fun for us. But as that kind of faded out, I just kind of got out of it and sold all my stuff unwillingly, really. And just kept a few things like wheels and tires and
I kind of want to talk about like how we got into how I kind of led up to my SCX10.
Yeah.
So after the Slash, I had that Slash, and then years and years went by, and this was like probably like 2014 while I was doing that Loretta stuff. We had a buddy that was pretty deep into the racing scene.
Mm-hmm.
You guys might have heard of Blake Champlin. He lived in St. George, and they had that RC track that you were into when you were into club racing. And I got into that, and I got a team associated SC10 through him. And like, I remember I got that thing, and it had mud flaps, and I was like, this thing is sick. Like, it looked so good. Like, they all took their mud flaps off. They're like, those things are so gay. I'm like, no, they look so real. Yeah. And like, I love that. And we got into that, and I had been looking, like, my cousin had a Jeep JK, the SCX10 2012 JK, and I saw that thing, and it had Maxxis tires. And like, when I saw those, I was like, dude, like, what is this? Because like, growing up like racing quads, like, we've always been sponsored by Maxxis. We just have a Mike Farmer, he's like the main Maxxis rep for West Coast, and like, he's been like so like great family friend, and just like got us into racing quads really. And it was just, I don't know, it was rad. Like, when I saw that an RC car had Maxxis tires, I was like, dude, I have to have this. Yeah. And like, I remember it just like, but I didn't really know. I wasn't like, I knew that like RC cars, like, I always thought they were like difficult because like my Slash always broke, and like, I was kind of scared of RC cars. But then like, after like getting that SC10, I was like, oh, okay, like, I got a charger and some lipos and learned how to like work them. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get a crawler. Yeah. And I got a crawler, and then like all of our buddies got crawlers, and that's when you got yours. And
yeah, we all kind of got them at the same time, pretty close, really. Yeah. We all just kind of, none of us really knew, or I didn't really know anyone had them until that, but. Yeah, just our group of buddies, just like, we kind of all just jumped in, and like, I remember I got one, and then everyone else got them, and then it was just downhill from there. Yeah. And, yeah, after I sold that stuff off I don't know, it was probably 2 years ago, a little while after the Bomber came out, I went and bought one of those, and it was super cool. I just put some wheels and stuff on it and just drove the piss out of it, really. Just kind of tried to... Yeah. And
that was kind of in the downtime of our crawler career.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, us with crawlers has kind of been in two parts. Like, our first part, when we all got them, and then Dixie 4-Wheel Drive was doing those events. Yeah,
which was super big. We had at least 30 dudes out there twice a week, probably.
Yeah, we would go like every Wednesday night, and then like every month or so we would have like a weekend crawl. Yeah. And they would set up gate markers.
And if you guys want to check out that group, there's an old post in the Axial blog about reaction crawlers, and Revis came up and took some coverage of the whole event, and it's actually super cool. You can see my old red Honcho and Riley's same JK, really.
Yeah, it's same JK. I've always had a red JK. Yeah. So like, it's, if you see a red JK on like some St. George, like southern Utah rocks, like, it's most likely mine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But after I sold that stuff off, and I had that Bomber, and we didn't really drive very much. It was kind of hard.
Yeah, because like, kind of the Dixie 4-Wheel Drive guys kind of stopped, and then we, like, the group kind of stopped.
It was kind of like our big growing up period too.
Yeah, like, we were all growing up, and like, yeah, then like in the middle of like the downtime, you got that Bomber. Yeah. And like, you probably didn't drive it. Like, you did some stuff to it. I remember we drove a little bit. Yeah. But not a lot.
Yeah, just kind of messed around a little bit.
And then probably like, I want to say like around like November. Yeah. Kind of when we been getting back into this pretty heavy. Yeah. Heaviest I've ever been. Like,
yeah, for sure. Me too. I definitely have the most money into my rigs now.
Yeah, me too.
So that's when I bought my SCX-10-2. It was a raw builder's kit, and I still have my Honcho body and my wheels and stuff, and I just bought some tires, and I still had all my electronics too, and I just threw that together, and I've just been driving it.
That started it. Yeah. Well, when you bought that builder's kit, then we went, he's like, let's go crawling. So we went, and I took my Jeep JK, and I was like, dude, this thing, it drove horrible.
Yeah, which is SCX-10-1 for everyone that can't see.
Yeah. It just drove so bad, because it's just like, it's got a spare tire, and it's got like, I don't know, it's just not set up for it. It's definitely a scaler.
Yeah, for sure. And it's relatively heavy too, so.
Yeah, and it's like stock electronics, and so I was like, dude, I got to get a SCX-10-2.
Yeah. So one day we were just out crawling, and Riley's like, I got to go get one. So we left, went and picked one up.
And then
from our local hobby shop.
And then I took the battery out of the car I was driving and put it I literally unboxed it on my tailgate and just put it right in the dirt.
Yeah. And yeah, we've just been building them. His is a little more built than mine right now. I've just been kind of, I don't know. A lot of it's kind of the same stuff just because it was an RTR. Mine already had links and the universals and stuff, which.
Yeah. So I got the Deadbolt RTR and it came pretty, they really drive so bad out of the box.
Yeah.
And then like I hopped on YouTube and Harley has a really good video about just like the basic stuff you can do out of the box to make it crawl way better. And that made the biggest change.
Oh yeah, lower the rear end a little bit.
Yeah. And then since then I've done the Incision links, which is stretched it to 12.3.
Yeah.
12.3 wheelbase and
makes a huge difference too.
Oh yeah.
12.3 or nothing really.
For sure. And then so yeah, I did the links and then I had a Tekin motor and then I didn't want to I had it in my Wraith and then I didn't want to put that I wanted to put that in it, but I didn't want to wire it up with the stock ESC, so I went and got a Tekin FXR and wired those up, and it really does do so good.
Yeah. So the only thing RTR about his car now is just the radio, really, which we're slowly working on doing our research on.
Yeah.
We went and looked at the DX5 Rugged today, and they're pretty cool. So that might be in the near future too.
Yeah, that's definitely the next upgrade.
Yeah.
For me, at least, but the next big one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really crazy what these things can do out of the box with just a few little things done to them. You can pretty much go up anything you want as long as you have a little bit of skill.
Yeah, I've just always been my SCX-10 is my first real crawler, and because I drove a lot with my SCX-10, my JK, but it just never crawled good.
Yeah.
And my SCX-10 was my first good crawler. And I was blown away. I was like, this thing drives insanely good. And I was just so excited.
Yeah, for sure. And it really is a whole new animal.
Yeah, we've been putting the miles in on those two SCX-10s.
Oh yeah, we've definitely got a few miles on them in the last few months. And that when they changed that axle design, that really changed everything. I mean, for everyone who just still has an original SCX-10, please go buy a SCX-10 or at least drive one, because they are next level. People think the portals are the way to go, but in my opinion, I think these things do really awesome for
portals are super rad, but I think
they have a time and place.
Yeah, definitely they're truck specific.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I definitely think mud trucks with portals and stuff is a super cool idea, but for me in a crawler, it just kind of doesn't really make sense.
I think a mud truck would be so fun, but my OCD would just not.
Oh yeah,
they would not mix it all.
Yeah, yeah. I just cringed driving through water the way it is. I mean, my cars look pretty beat up because I just drive them, but water's something I steer clear of.
It gets in the foams and it's just it's not good.
I'll go drive in the rain every once in a while, but that's different because it's just hitting it and you're just spinning on the rocks. That's about it.
Yeah.
So we live in southern Utah, which in my opinion and a lot of people's opinions that I've seen and heard from is one of the best RC crawling spots in the world. We have at least 4 spots that we could go hit right now and drive for hours
and not see we have one main spot that's kind of in the middle of town that you get a lot of hikers.
Pioneer Park, if you guys have ever heard of that.
Yeah, that's kind of if you've seen any social media of RC cars from St. George, it's either Pioneer Park, which is people call it Dixie Rock.
Yeah.
And or Sand Hollow. That's just the two. Pioneer Park, you can't take 1-to-1 rigs.
Yeah.
But definitely big for crawling, just hiking around, and it's just it's just right over the city.
Yeah, and Sand Hollow is a huge 1-to-1 spot, and we definitely have a lot of people in the 1-to-1 crawling industry that
come to Sand Hollow.
Yeah, for sure.
They have I think they have almost 3 big events a year.
Yeah,
out there.
It's kind of like a small Moab, but
more sand.
Yeah, sand dunes, and there's a few trails. I mean, I've never been on them because
we're just never been big Jeep guys.
Yeah, for sure. We've never really been crawlers. I like to go fast when I don't have a radio in my hands really.
Yeah. And so St. George is like, we're like 2 hours from Vegas, and then northern Utah is about 4 hours from us. Yeah.
So we're pretty central. We're probably 7 hours from the coast in California.
Yeah.
I would say 6-7 hours depending on traffic and stuff, but
yeah, we're definitely going to try and like, we're pretty central, so we're definitely going to we're like, that's like something we want to like improve on, is hitting more RC events.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to try and beat a bunch of events. We talked about going to Proline by the Fire, but I know I have a race that weekend in my Razor, so
yeah,
I'm not sure if I'll make it. Depends on if plans change or not, but it would be fun to go to, and I know we're definitely planning on being at Axial Fest no matter what.
100% we're going to be there. Rain or shine, we're going to be at Axial Fest.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure, which will be super fun. I'm so excited. Wanted to do it for years.
Yeah, there's like always been people from St. George like in the little crawling group that we have like go, but we've just really never done it.
Yeah.
But like this year,
always talked about it though, like, every year.
Me and Eric we're both just waiting for pre-registration to come out.
Yeah, we've itching for it.
Yeah. So definitely just gonna try and hit as many events like as possible. That's just kind of something we haven't done in the past.
Yeah.
Is hit a lot of events. We've kind of just like
stayed close
and just kind of done our own thing.
Yeah, I would like to find some Sorka style events too, because that's kind of what my current car is built for.
Yeah.
Which I'm definitely gonna, like I said earlier, I really want to build a scale build now, but my car right now is definitely set up for a more comp style rig.
I've never really like looked into like Sorka or any kind of like rule, like building a car for a certain class.
Yeah.
Like I've only ever like 1.9 or 2.2.
Yeah, I know class 1's like really strict rules, class 2 loosens up a little bit, and then class 3's kind of, I think, like an unlimited class really from what I've seen. I'm not really too sure on that, but
yeah,
we'll have to look into it some more.
Yeah, we want to look into it and just like try to beat events, try and I don't know, be super active on social media. We want to put these up on YouTube. Yeah. And
eventually we'd like to, we're going to put these on YouTube for you guys to watch. You can either listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, whatever, Google, but you can watch it on YouTube too. But eventually we'd like to make a separate channel and put up some running vids.
Yeah, I definitely, because I definitely like to do like, I don't know, I love working on trucks, and like I would love to film it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I just feel like they'd be really good for you guys to watch, and like seeing us work on trucks, and also seeing us do running videos.
Yeah.
And just like honestly just putting out more content and just growing everything.
Yeah, we don't really have anyone in the RC hobby that's putting out a consistent podcast from what I've seen or that I know of.
Yeah, kind of how this came about, kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so kind of how this came about is I listen to podcasts 8 hours a day all day at work because I just get really sick of music, and I try and listen to some general stuff and some comedians and all sorts of stuff, but I like to go into my hobbies, and there's good diesel podcasts, there's good motocross podcasts, there's even a good dune podcast about UTVs and sandrails, and there's not really anything too consistent with RC cars, and there used to be, but not anymore. So we're really trying to fill that gap. I mean, I feel like we can do a pretty good job at it. We're both pretty capable of this.
We're pretty into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Eric came to me with the idea, and like it was a no-brainer. Like we went crawling.
Yeah.
This came about probably like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, let's do this. And I was like, yes, like 100%. Like I've always wanted, like, I have a YouTube channel, and like it's never really blown up, and I've posted on it quite a bit, and like, but I was never really that into it. Like I've always wanted to do something, but I didn't know what.
Yeah,
and
for
like,
sure.
Like, and I wanted it to be something like I was passionate about and really into. And Eric came to me with this, and I was like, it's perfect.
Yeah, we're gonna try and start up a YouTube channel too. Oh wait, I already said that, but we're definitely gonna try and get some more kits in here, and even on the podcast we'll talk about parts that we've gotten and stuff that we break or stuff that we put on our cars that we think makes a big difference, because there's definitely some of those things that we've come across that we'd like to talk about. And
yeah, definitely like
servos, speed controls, motors, whatever
parts, like even just like, I don't know, like comparing, like putting like say top of the line Vanquish compared to like, I don't know, your budget
Inti boom racing, something like that.
So we definitely want to like put some different parts on our cars, like run them, really see how they react and like what they do, and talk about it on the podcast and let you guys know, and so you guys can better your builds and, you know, just have a better judge before you go buy something.
Yeah, and like I said, we're definitely going to try and get some more kits to at least talk about. I mean, I know I personally want to try a TRX4. I mean, we're huge Axial fanboys, just to be straight up about it, but it would be cool to get a TRX4 to check out.
Just kind of see the different stuff that people are really raving about everything lately.
Yeah, for sure.
Like everything's really big right now, and like crawling is really on an uprise right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not going down. Something we can touch on is last night, Axial posted a teaser picture with Casey Curry holding a new car, and we were throwing guesses at it and everything, and I mean, kind of a bummer, but there's some leaked pictures that have already came out, and it is a 1.9 Wraith, and we've confirmed that with our local hobby shop, and they said they will have that in tomorrow, so we're going to go look at it and check it out and maybe go over that in episode 2. Yeah. Maybe I'll buy one. I'm not really sure. Depends.
Both of us might even walk out of there with a new one.
Yeah, it would be cool for sure.
I'm looking at a picture of it right here. Our biggest thing right now is honestly if it's going to have frame rails or not.
Yeah, and it would be really cool if it did have frame rails. I know if you look at it, it's got a CRC bumper on the front, which is the only thing that would make me think that, and a chassis mounted servo.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool if it had frame rails and it was a little different than the actual 2.2 Wraith, but it's definitely got a cool Bronco style body on it. At least the grill is Bronco styled.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it the other day. Like, the Wraith has been out for at least probably about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And they really haven't done, like, a refresh on it.
Yeah, they've just slapped a couple of bodies on it. They've
Some
never
different
really...
wheels and tires.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I was really thinking about it, and, like, they come out with this, and I just think it's rad how Axial are really using their same vehicles, but, like, just making so many different, like, so many different things out of, like, stuff they've already kind of done.
Yeah, and I know that makes a lot of non-Axial fans, I know it drives them crazy for sure, but I think it's cool. They need to push each platform as much as they can, and I think this 1.9 Wraith will be really cool. Make a really cool crawling rig, and I don't know, we'll see. I
can't wait to get my hands on one.
Yeah, for sure. If I build one, it's definitely going to be a comp style rig. I'm going to make it perform the best I can and throw some big tires on it because it'll look real good with some 4.75 tires.
What's this Bronco? It's kind of, what's this body? It's like kind of like a
Bronco or a Scout or something like that. It's got those round headlights, and
it looks like right here, I got a picture of it. It's got a 3D printed grill.
Mm-hmm. It's got a plastic inserted grill like the Axial Blazer and the Cherokee SCX 10.2 does, which is really good to see him pushing some more stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's got the SCX 10.2 axles on it.
Yep. It's got a Panhard bar 3-link setup, which is really cool, which means the servo's chassis mounted, which obviously looks way better. And as much as a performance guy as I am, I'd much rather have the servo up in the chassis.
Yeah, so like really, like even with this car, we want to get some more Axial kits. Like we want to get some like that Red Cat.
Yeah, we could look at one of those.
And like we really just want to get more kits for the show, and build what we can build on here, and really just like we were down at the Mint 400 last weekend because we're both pretty avid in desert racing, and we follow that pretty closely. Definitely more the best in the desert score style stuff than Ultra 4, but we were down at the Mint 400 and they released that new low C Baja Ray, which looks absolutely killer compared to what it used to look like. I hated the original one, and I think they knocked it out of the park with this new body. Yeah, for sure. And I right now I have a Axial TT, And like I'm definitely looking into like, I don't know, I love those scale trophy trucks.
Oh yeah, super rad.
And
Traxxas UDR is insane looking.
That's definitely on the list.
Yeah,
for us. And yeah, we're definitely like just like big scale fanboys, and like we just love like anything that like looks good and like is gonna perform at least decently good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, we're gonna try and get our hands on as many kits as we can. We have some tracks in Vegas that we can go to, so eventually I know I'd like to build, I don't know, I'd really like to build an 8th scale buggy because I've never gotten into 8th scale.
Yeah,
but I think it'd be really fun to do that. And 10th scale buggy too, I would love to have another one.
I've never really been like way into the racing scene, but I'd love to like, I don't know, get a kit, build it up, and just like honestly anything RC right now I'm just like way into. And like it's so much fun to me. And like there's just something about like little trucks that are just like so rad.
Yeah, for sure. Everything about them. I miss racing too. Throwing whips with a buggy is a crazy feeling, because RC car shouldn't be able to do that, and when you can just throw it upside down off a double, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, so rad.
We're definitely gonna look into that and really just look into all sides of RC. I know I want an SMT10 too. I'd really like to check one of those out. I think they're super cool looking.
Yes,
super cool looking cars.
I was watching some videos like Proline by the Fire. They do
monster truck event.
Yep, and they also do one at Axial Fest.
Oh,
so that'd be super rad just to like, I don't know, like go to Axial Fest and just like kind of have a car for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I just built up a bomber.
Yeah,
RR10 bomber. It was like my first car that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and like I really went all out on it. It's full Vanquish, full Tekin electronics, and it rips.
Yeah, it's got the Curry F9s on it and everything, and it's a super good looking car. If you guys can see this on the video feed, if you're watching on the video, it's got a wrap from SOR graphics and looks so good.
Yeah, and so that I plan on racing the ultra 5Ks with it.
Yeah, that'll be super rad, and I may try and dabble in that. It's kind of hard for me because my knee really bothers me sometimes, but I definitely like to try at least one. I know I can push myself for a couple.
Yeah, I always liked the bomber, and I never really got my hands on one, and it just like racing and RC cars and scale, it was just like all in one. And I was like, those ultras look so fun, so I just knew I had to.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll definitely be a big change, but it'll be fun for us to kind of explore into this and see what we have going on,
and hopefully just take you guys along the way. And yeah,
for sure. So like we said, we're gonna try and release one a week. We're not really too sure on a day yet. We're just kind of right now trying to release them as we can, trying to get these out here for you guys to listen to. But yeah, we'd like to do one a week and possibly one with a guest if we can get a hold of
anyone.
Some big names. If anyone would like to come on and hears this, please reach out to us on our email or Instagram, anything really. We'd really like to get anyone on that we can and talk to some people in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. And just like more people, and just like try and just grow this as much as we can, and just like honestly have like a good platform for you guys that you can listen to. And yeah.
So every week too, on that one episode that we're going to try and guarantee, we're going to go over all the news in ground RC. At least we don't really follow much air stuff. I mean, it would be fun, but we're just not capable of it really, funds wise and everything. But
yeah, I've never really gotten into the air stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it would stress me out way too much. I know that for sure, but
yeah,
it would definitely be fun. But yeah, we're gonna go over all the news for all the ground stuff every week and talk about, I don't know, we can talk about some videos on here too that some people post. If we see Matt from Scale Builders Guild or
for sure
Harley post something that we'd like to talk about, because I know they do some really cool stuff on both of their channels.
Yeah, and they do the the monthly mayhems.
Yeah.
And it'd be definitely rad just to like talk about those, and like those dudes are definitely setting
the bar.
Yeah, they are setting the bar and like RC on the internet.
Yeah, they're definitely the two biggest guys, and we all know they both do really good videos, both of them. And
yes, I'm a huge fan of this, like Matt, the Scale Builders Guild, and like he's like, I don't know, my inspiration on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and same with Harley, just like since he works at like Vanquish, and like he always has the nicest stuff, and like it always looks so rad.
All performs killer too.
Yep.
But we're gonna try and be a little active on RC Crawler if we can, and kind of just try and do as much as we can for this hobby, and try and dive in head first and hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna touch on some reviews on cars and parts and everything. I don't know. We'll talk about events that we've gone to too. Maybe review the places that we've gone if that's really possible. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but
there is a like a series of events. 801 RCC.
Yeah.
And up in northern
Utah.
Northern Utah, they put on a pretty good event every month.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to get to. It's pretty cold up there right now. That's kind of what's been keeping us from going up.
Yeah.
But we definitely want to go hit as many of those as we can as it starts warming up a little bit.
Yeah, the scale crawling scene's definitely a lot bigger up there, and I know we're both a part of their Facebook page and kind of keep
pretty close tabs on it.
We kind of watch it all and see what's going on. They definitely put on some events that we'd like to go see, and
they have a great Facebook. Like anytime like anyone has any questions or anything, like everyone's so active on it and everyone's so supportive, and I think that's so rad that the RC community really is like so friendly.
Yeah, everyone is, for the most part, is really cool unless they're thinking they're better for some reason. We're all just playing with toy cars all in the end, really.
Exactly.
All just walking around on some rocks.
Yeah, and also like as we better this podcast, like definitely even like with our mics and like
we're bear with us. We're trying to get this all set up right now, but I think we're doing pretty good so far. But
yeah, I think we have a pretty good starting base with some equipment that we have, but definitely we're gonna be. If it doesn't sound great, like it will definitely sound better the next one.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, and every week, please submit questions if you wonder anything or want to know anything.
Follow us on Instagram, and we'll put up like ask questions.
Yeah,
and then
we'll put everything in the show notes, but we'll talk about it when we close up too.
Yeah.
But yeah, please submit questions, and anyone that wants to reach out to us to be on here, we'd really love to have some good people on here. And
just like let us know what you want to see. Like if you guys are like, oh yeah, finally someone is like putting a show together, like let us know. Like don't like hold back and just be like, hey, we want to see this and this and this, and like we will do our best to like bring to you guys what you want.
Yeah, please give us feedback on this. Rate and review, do everything you can, but definitely contact us and let us know what you guys think, what we're doing wrong. We're just trying to do our best, trying to get this figured out. I mean, this is my first, both of our first really whack at it, and we're just kind of going for it.
We honestly like did a little test run like last night, and like today we're like, we have everything. Let's do it.
Yeah. So this is our, I don't know, our first run, and we just kind of impulse did it, I guess.
Yeah. We were both like so excited about it.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it all the time, and it's definitely going to progress and get better as we do this, but
yeah,
it's definitely probably going to be a little hard to
get in.
Yeah, a little hard for people to listen to these first few episodes, but
yeah, we're getting better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to send us emails or questions or anything, the email is the unrelated RC podcast at gmail.com. So please send us an email.
And we'll have everything in the bio, like in the description below.
We'll have everything in the show notes and in the description in YouTube. And our Instagram and everything, just let us know. And I don't know. Should be good.
Yeah, and we also talked about how, like, this is going to be RC based, and, like, it's kind of how we came up with the name.
Yeah. So how we came up with the name, Riley came up with the name, but we both share the same last name, which is Snow.
Yeah.
But we're kind of not really related, like maybe 6 generations ago or something, but it's definitely very little. So
yeah, like anytime someone like puts us together, they're like, oh, you guys brothers or cousins? We're like, no, we're not at all. So it's kind of funny, and we kind of want to make this show about like RCs and like mainly crawler stuff, but
it's definitely going to be a little washy. So
yeah, like talk about everything, and
as we'd like to get into some racing and stuff, it's going to be focused on scale, but it's going to be related to all RC. So that's kind of the name, Unrelated RC.
Yeah, it's like kind of like everything is the same, but nothing's really related. So that's how we kind of came up with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how the name came about. And
yeah, I think we're about good on this first episode. We might call this number 0, just to kind of for people to reference and come back to. We'd like everyone to listen to this one and kind of learn our story,
and kind of just get like, because I know when you like you're on YouTube and you hop into a video, you're like, okay, what's going on? Like, I don't really know.
Yeah, we're just trying to take a whack at this, and hopefully everyone can bear with us. And we'd really like everyone to come back and listen to this first one. See if you have some new buddies that you get to listen, and it's been a couple episodes, please have them listen to this one so they can
for sure
get on the same note.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have everything in the show notes and in the description in YouTube. We'll, once again, the email to submit questions to or reach out to us is unrelatedrcpodcast@gmail.com. unrelatedrcpodcast@gmail.com. And please feel free to reach out to us. Send us a DM on Instagram. I know we're going to work on an Instagram tonight.
Yep.
And get some stuff together. So thank all you guys for listening and
sticking in there.
Yeah, for sure. Bear with us as we get this going. It's going to be a hell of a time getting this going, but
yeah, I think it's just gonna be a lot of fun, and we just want to bring you guys content, and that's our plan, and hopefully you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Did it get super echoey towards the end?